Hey, it's Rob and welcome to Axel's Garage. We're out here with Cosmo again today. It's the 2000 Jeep Cherokee. It's an XJ. And we're going to take some time to make the first part of a multi-part video that we're going to try to keep as short as possible because cousin Joey comments that my videos are too long. So I'm going to try to keep them a little shorter just for cousin Joey. So what we're going to do is I'll link right up here where we recovered the headliners using, not the headliners, the sun visors using Fleece. And it's Fleece that Emily picked out. It's like a bandana paisley print in black and white. It was pricey. The reason to use Fleece was to save a couple shekels, and she doesn't save shekels. She goes for the priciest Fleece that we can order online. The dog has to start barking as soon as I turn that camera on record. So I'm going to move the camera, and we are going to start to take the old headliner panel and board out, and I'll take you along for the trip. I'm not going to do a step-by-step on this. It's pretty self-explanatory. You're going to take all your trim pieces that go along the top sides all the way around, your sun visors, your light fixtures, and your speakers. The headliner board will come down, and you should be able to slide it right out the back, and I'll just set the camera up and time-lapse it a little bit for you. So in real time, that was about, I would say, 20 to 30 minutes, maybe 30 minutes. Go with 30 minutes. All right. Only tools you need: Phillips head screwdriver. That's for most of the trim screws in the back. All right. We used a T20 Torx for the rear speakers need to come out because they're actually in the headliner. So that's a T20 on the rear speakers, and then a T25 for the grab handles. You got one over each passenger rear door, and then one over the passenger door. The rear seat high mount seat belts with the point for the shoulder harness. That has to come out, and that is a T50 Torx. And then you got a couple clips along the back, Christmas tree style clips, so a panel removal tool helps. And as far as the other panels, the side panels, the panels up top over the rear doors and over the rear quarter window, I guess you would call it, the rear side window, those just slide right out once you take the screws out. The front, over the front doors, and then the pillars going down towards the windshield, those have metal clips on them. They pop out with the metal clips. Both metal clips right above the windows on the fronts broke on either side, but the clips going down, they stood intact. So they both broke. I'm guessing that's a chronic break spot. I'll see if I can glue the clip back to the to that trim piece. But once you get all that down and then your lights out, visors, the visor hooks, and the lights, it just slides right out the back. Now, what we need to do is clean off all of this scourge, which is the padding, because what happens is the headliner material separates from the padding. The padding, for the most part, stays on the board, and the headliner starts to sag. So all this padding needs to come off, and you can see like this clean fiberglass. That's what you need to be left with. So you could do it by hand, you could do it with a vacuum, you could do it with a scrub brush. What I'm going to do is I'm going to take one of those nylon brushes that go on a drill, and I am going to clean it off with that. I really wouldn't use a metal, like a wire wheel kind of wheel, because you don't want to damage this board. But you got to get all this completely off. So I'm going to do that with a wheel. I'll show you what the wheel looks like. Alright, so if you've seen these advertised, I'll put a link to a whole set of them in the description below. They're great for cleaning wheels, great for cleaning tile, bathrooms, shower stalls, things like that. But one of these on a drill or a little impact cleans it up real nice. So get all this padding off, vacuum it, and then it'll be ready for the new fabric, and we'll continue along once that's all done on a different day, but the same video. Alright, so it's been a week or two since I last got to this headliner project, and I got the headliner in the garage here up on its side, trying to keep it out of the way of the dogs and the kids and everybody so that it doesn't get screwed up, because although it's fairly rigid for a car headliner, it is fragile, and if you bend it or snap it or screw it up, it's never going to look right. So I got it propped up on its side in the garage, and I have to clean the schmutz, the padding, where the padding and the headliner is separated. The padding stays stuck to it, and I'll show you. But first, I'm going to show you those brushes that I briefly showed outside, how to clean it up. Now, I've never done this before, but these brushes seem to be the easiest way to get the job done. So I was using this green brush. It came in a kit that we bought. You can use it to my wife is in the background making faces at me, but you can use it for a variety of things in the garage, cleaning the cars, around the house. We used it to scrub the tile in the bathrooms. We used it to do the raised white letters in the sides of the tires. You could use it for carpet cleaning, couches, you know, if you want to shampoo your couches, if you want to try to get a stain out of your carpet. It's the power version of one of these old-fashioned scrub brushes. So they come in different colors. It's a whole big, I bought a whole giant kit of them. I had bought the first one, I think it was like 3 of them in yellow, and that was like the medium strength, and I used the crap out of them, and then I just bought this real big kit that came with like 20 or 30 pieces, and I'll link it below. It's in my Amazon store. It is a good project. This one actually had 22 of them, so it's a 22-piece all-purpose scrubber cleaning kit by Dr. Brush. The only thing that sucks is you have to refer back to the Amazon ad in order to see. I think there was a description in there that says which ones are stiffer than others, because when you feel them sometimes it's hard to, like, this black one seems pretty stiff, and this yellow one, it seems like there's more bristles in the yellow one, but there's softer bristles. I don't know. You just gotta be careful. I grabbed the green one. I started using the green one on the headliner, and it started to come off easy. I have found that if you use them with an impact and you go in, like I was doing a stain in the carpet, and I had it on an impact driver, a little 1/4-inch impact driver, because the shanks on them are, you know, go right into the 1/4-inch thingy for the impact, and the impacting didn't make them hold up. So where the metal shaft went into the impact, it just blew it apart there. Whoop, there goes my drill. So anyway, I bought the kit. I put it in a little tote. It even comes with giant scouring pads like that you would find on a roll lock, different abrasive levels, and it's a really good kit. I like it. I found a lot of uses for it. So with that being said, instead of using a scrub brush to get this the padding off that separates and stays on your headliner board, I started using this. And what I did was I grabbed the big green one. The green's fairly soft. I got my drill on low speed, and you're just pretty much going back and forth on it. And I'll move the camera just to give you a little bit better idea of what I'm doing here. So I had the board set up, you know, on its side, and I'm just going nice and easy back and forth, and it knocked most of it off. This stuff here is kind of some of the oversplash, I would call it. The oversplash that's just sticking to it that we'll just wipe off at the end. But pretty much what I wanted to do was just go over and get the most of it off. This stuff is like, it almost feels like wet, and I don't know what you could call it, but it doesn't like get into the air and create a lot of dust. It kind of falls right to the ground. So just go along. So as you do it, you can see it kind of like sticks to the thing, so you want to like knock it off and get it all the way down. So I just take this just to knock off the particles that are already broken loose that are just sticking to the board. So I know where I need to go. So now I know I got a couple little spots that I could work on. So that's pretty much it. You just got to keep going over. I keep changing. I'm going to go from the little one. You know, you got the big one to do the big areas, and then you got even one with like a round tip to get in there. Like I said, you don't need to buy these in order to do this. It does make it a lot easier. You can do it with a regular scrub brush. It comes off. I was probably having, you know, as you're scrubbing, having a second person with like a shop vac sucking it up would probably make it go a little bit easier. If you had a big table and you could lay it out on a table, that would make it easier. Outside right now, it's been raining here for, geez, feels like weeks, but that's why we're doing it in the garage. But you got it. It's almost like prepping for paint. You know, your prep is going to be your job. The most important thing is going to be that prep. So I'm going to keep on going over this until I'm certain that every bit of that loose padding is off, and then give it a good vacuum and make sure you got all that little particles. Because if those little particles are there, that's a spot that the headliner can't stick to. So I'm just going to keep on going over this. We'll wrap up this part one of the headliner video. So we took it out, got it cleaned up. I'll get it cleaned up the rest of the way, and we'll continue on along with the prep for inside the Jeep. We're going to put a little sound deadening and a little acoustical insulation in the ceiling that'll get sandwiched between the headliner and the skin of the roof. And then we're going to put our fleece on this and lay it out nice. We're probably going to do that in the dining room, I think. I think doing that inside in a controlled weather environment without any wind or anything like that would probably be the best place. If I was able to do it in the garage and set up a big table in here, I would do it in the garage. I just don't have enough room. So I think we'll cover the dining room table with cardboard, and we'll lay this out, and we'll do our headliner, our fabric install in there on another video. But anyway, it's a start. I hope you enjoyed it. Like I said, just take a little time, a little patience, and don't lose any of those parts that you took out, the screws and all the stuff from inside the Jeep. Hope you enjoyed the video. As always, thanks for watching.